Like I said, I'm Lena B. Dose, as usual. Um, this is episode two. Episode two, we're basically talking about trauma, living with trauma, living through it. So I did have a guest this week, but they postponed, so hence why I'm a little late right now. So yeah, we still gonna go along with the show, you know, and we just gonna talk about trauma. So by dictionary, trauma basically is severe physical or psychological distress to someone in any event. Um, it could be overwhelming. It could be overwhelming, which, how would I put it? Which can mess with a person's ability to cope, making feelings, or I should say, getting through their feelings. Feeling helpless, unsafe, shocked, all type of stuff, basically. And you do know there's different stages to trauma. Of course, you can have acute, chronic, or complex. Later on in this show, in this on this podcast, I should say, of course, I'm gonna have more professional people to explain like trauma, like the in depth of it. But that's basically my understanding of trauma. um, and I just wanted to talk about like you know, trauma's not, in my opinion, it's not accepted as much. Um, it's not accepted as much, and I would say majorly in the Black communities, especially Caribbean communities, because they believe that especially as females, we should always stay strong and don't let other people have anything to use over us or hold over our head. Honestly, I'm tired of living like that. And like I said, this is my platform for everybody to come and feel comfortable to talk about their traumas and to talk through their traumas with me. Of course, there are ways that people can, if you, sorry, if you do want to join the podcast while I'm on the podcast, you can message me on Facebook. I'm sorry, y'all. You can message me on Facebook, or you can message me on the phone number. I can give you the phone number right now. Give me a second. And I can send you the link to join me on the live. If you do want to join on the live. But as I'm saying, like I feel like trauma is just a hard topic to hit on. Um, and I feel like also a lot of people don't accept like what you're trying to say your trauma's about, or what caused your trauma, or a lot of it's a lot of different things that can cause your trauma. You can physically see something can physically happen to you. um it could be emotional, psychological, like it doesn't have to be something that physically happens to you. um and like I said, y'all are gonna get to know me also, some of my traumas that I wouldn't say suffer with, because I'm not suffering with it. I'm living through life regardless of my traumas. It's not easy every day, but I know by the grace of God I'm gonna make it through it. Um, if y'all do, and disclaimer, I'm gonna make this disclaimer. You're always gonna hear me mention God, because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have gotten through a lot of stuff that I did today. I wouldn't be the person I am, the woman I am today. So you're gonna always hear me mention God. Um, and I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. So that's just my disclaimer right now. Um, but yeah. like I said, I'm going to give the number that y'all could text. And if y'all want to join on the live or have anything y'all would like me to mention on future podcasts, you could always, like I said, send the information to this number. So, I'm very open to a lot of topics when it comes to us mending and moving forward. Like I said, that's what I'm all about. So I don't have any reason to put down anything. I'm very open. I'm trying to be as open as I can with my channel because that's what I'm striving to do. This is me healing and everybody healing together. All of us healing together on this platform for us to feel comfortable and have a space where we can heal. So that's all I'm striving for with this whole movement is just being able to be us unapologetically and not living as victims. But like I said, like for a long time I've lived as a victim. Very honestly. And I might be still. There's there's people right now in my life that I still don't talk up for myself. But like I'm saying, every day is a growing process for me, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. I'm not gonna be here all the time. And also, like I don't want my biggest reason why I want to change and be a better person is because I have children. And I don't want my kids to ever feel like they can't say something to me because they're scared or I'm gonna judge them or nothing like that. I don't ever want them to feel like that. So in order for me to show them that that's how I want them to be, I have to strive to do that too. So that's what I'm doing. But also I do believe that everybody's perception of trauma is different. What one person might consider trauma to them might not be considered trauma to somebody else. Or a lot of people look down on people. Well, I've been through worse, so what you gotta say? I hate people like that. Excuse my language. Not hate. I dislike. I dislike people like that make it seem like their trauma is better than anybody's or worse than anybody's. Everybody trauma is the same. Everybody need to heal from trauma. At the end of the day, we cannot live life through trauma, if that makes sense. If you do want to call in or join in on the live, you can text me at 470-873-6461. For right now, the show is gonna be like 30 minutes, but gradually it's gonna get longer. Like I said, right now we just starting out and it's a lot to get everything together. So if you are just joining, like I said, this is Mending and Moving Forward podcast with your host, Lena B. Like I said, I'm kind of shy, so it's gonna take me a while because y'all might see me looking away from the camera a lot. I'm shy. But yeah, it took me a long time to start this because I been had this idea, but it's just I've been procrastinating. I've been procrastinating for a long time, but like I said, regardless of what I'm going through right now in my life, like this is the only thing I have that I can concretely hold on to and keep moving forward. So therefore, since that is what I have and all I have right now, I'm going to stay positive and I'm going to keep pushing it no matter where. So gradually as I do it, you are going to see me like get better with the background and recording and everything. Everything's being put together piece by piece. I just had to start it. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so back to trauma. um, yeah, I just feel like it's always been a hard topic for people to touch on trauma, and I just had to start my second episode because my first episode, of course, was just getting to know me a little bit. It wasn't all full out blown about me, but it was a little bit about me, about what mending and moving forward is about. Um, yeah, it's basically about what we're about. Um, it was just something that this is something very dear to my heart. Um, you know, it took me a very long time to get where I am, like mentally, emotionally, physically, because my traumas basically made me feel like I was the ugliest person in this world. Um, my traumas made me feel like I was never good enough. I would never be good enough. My traumas made me feel as if I was nothing. I would never be nothing. I could never be nothing, regardless of me having these ambitious dreams. And it was just like my traumas was always like, you will never be that. No matter how much you push, you would never be that. You could never be that. You will never be that. And I'm not gonna make that. I will not make that hold me down anymore, any longer, anymore, because I'm worthy of it all. I'm worthy. I've grown to love myself. I think I'm the most beautiful person ever. Sorry, I might be a little sedity right now, but I care less what nobody think about me, like how I look. I'm not small. I'm not a small girl, and I'm not a big girl either. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm comfortable in my skin, regardless of what nobody have to say or how nobody feel. I am comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable with who I am. I am comfortable with what I've been through and where I'm going, where I have been, where the whole nine, you know. And if I be honest with everybody, it took me going to prison. And y'all gonna hear me talk more on this, but it took me going to prison to realize that I never, ever, ever took the time out to learn myself, to love myself, to be with myself, to grow with myself. And I started reading this book. I wish I had it on me right now. It's called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. That's the name of it. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by, I believe his name is Stephen Covey. I believe his name is Stephen Covey. But that was the that's not my problem. Hi y'all. Sorry.
Or some food. So like, why you being like that? Merch. You don't order food though, right?
I'm on live.
My fault.
Hi y'all. I'm sorry. I have children. What? Hey, I'm back. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's been a journey. I was gone for, I want to say 23 months. 21 months. Sorry, y'all. I was gone for 21 months, almost 2 years. And the first 3 months, all I yearned to be, all I yearned to be was home, you know. And not saying the rest of that time I didn't yearn to be home. It was like after the first 3 months of being there, all I could, all I could work on at that point in time and stop trying to kill myself over is myself. And that's where I learned to love on myself. That's where I learned about myself, if that makes sense. I learned how to cope with some of my traumas, not all, but some. I still like have traumas that I do suffer with. Trust, I suffer with that very bad. I try my best to be open about it, but in all honesty, I don't trust anybody. And when I say anybody, that's including my children. I don't trust anybody.
I want to get straight for.
But
Now keep doing you. Keep doing you.
I'm on live.
I know. Keep doing you.
What y'all want?
Your card.
No.
Why not? Go to the gas station.
No.
Why not?
Bye.
I'm getting one of those.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm getting one of those.
But yeah, I got time to just think about myself. I'm sorry, y'all. The best thing I would say ever worked for me being in there was learning how to schedule my time. Learning how to schedule my time was the best thing ever. Can y'all please pause a second? Hey y'all, I'm back.
You got covered.
Yes. So
Not slick.
I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I have trust issues. I am working on it to try to be open more. My children, for the most part, I try my best not to be like that with them because those are my children. I'm sorry, y'all. I worked all day today. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to check if anybody had text. But yeah, like I said, I do suffer with trust issues of all. I suffer from, I wouldn't say, I push people away because of a lot of traumas. Don't open completely to people because of a lot of traumas. So like I'm not perfect, and that's why I said we're all. This channel is all about growing together. That's it, period. Blank. Because we all have trauma in one way or the other. Um, but one thing I am learning, uh, because I am in a relationship, so I have many days where it's just, I. It's not that I don't want to be bothered with him, but it's just I really don't trust the situation, if that makes sense. And it's not nothing he do, it's not nothing I do. It's just just me. But like I'm trying. I'm working on it. Not perfect. Never gonna be perfect. None of us is never perfect, you know. But it's just about us growing and getting past our traumas and becoming the best us, if that makes sense. Just me. You know, I'm sorry, y'all. But like I said, it's just the biggest thing for me is that I had to start this now. Um, and I'm working on a couple other projects, but like I said, I do have a lot of stuff personally that I'm going through right now. So everything is probably going to be a little. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a little spotty. I'm not gonna lie on y'all. Lie to y'all. I'm gonna be real honest. It's gonna be real spotty because it's a lot. And some days I sit down and I'm just like, why me? But I just gotta stay positive. And I have been staying positive, I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, we are gonna be touching on a lot of topics. And this week I just wanted to first bring up trauma because of the plain fact that a lot of us mending and growing a lot of us mending and growing and moving forward is going to have to be with us touching on a lot of traumatic situations. And like I said in the last episode, you're going to see me cry a lot because when you think you have gotten over stuff and it's just like when you touch the subject, it hurts still. Um, but it's just it's we gonna grow. We gonna grow. And like I said, like I don't want nobody to feel like you can't talk on this channel. You can't voice your opinion. My page, there's a page on Facebook for mending and moving forward. If y'all want to go on there and just voice y'all opinions, suggest topics that we can talk about. It doesn't matter. Like I can always change the next week's topic so we hit that topic. I do try to go on there every week and put up like 2 or 3 topics that I feel like y'all might want to talk about. But like I said, it's gonna be a journey and a journey that I'm ready to take with y'all. But I just want y'all because I didn't get to touch so much on last week because like I said, I was having technical difficulties. Very bad. But like I said, I don't know if our guest might come on during all of this. I did just talk to the guest. So I'm gonna try to see if I could hold on. I just sent the link out. But yeah, basically it's just I just want y'all to know a little bit about us. This is our mission statement basically. Basically just my podcast basically I just want it to be centered around us healing, you know, through open and honest conversations. That's it. Open and honest conversations. Like I said, I'm gonna be as transparent as I can be with y'all because when it comes to certain things, you can't go too deep. If that makes sense. Like I said, I'm gonna share my own journey along with y'all sharing y'all journeys, opening up. Like I said, I will have episodes where I will see if I could get a certified individual to come on and talk to us, because it's not just you, it's us. We in this together, baby. But I just wanted this to be a safe space for us to talk about our traumas, yo, and us acknowledging it and not feeling like we're not allowed to be defined. Or I don't even know if I'm saying this right. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm just, but basically, us just not being defined by our traumas, if that makes sense. Um, and like I said, we're not victims. We are not victims. We're survivors. And for the longest while, I think I walked around with the victim cape on. For the longest, I was just like, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. Until I got older, and it was just like, I can no longer be scared. Our guest is here. Um, but like I said, I was, hey,
Hello.
hello.
Sorry for my lateness,
Is
but
that
I
right?
am here now.
It's alright. But yeah, I was just talking about traumas and basically what my mission statement was for mending and moving forward.
Okay.
But yeah, y'all, that's my little cousin.
Hi.
Oh Lord. But yeah, she wanted to come in and tap in on the subject trauma. But
Mhm.
yeah, so basically so far I just defined trauma for them. Um Told them about a little bit of my trauma, like I got trust issues. I don't trust nobody. You could take it from her. She could tell you I don't trust nobody. Nobody. Nobody.
I mean, I'm an exception, but
Yeah, I don't
ah,
trust
I
nobody.
think I don't think she talking about me, but it's okay.
It's just honest. I was talking about I define trauma for them as far as I can. Like I told them, I'm not professional. That's just my definition of what trauma is.
Right.
Um, I also went over perception. Everybody' perception of trauma is different.
Mhm.
Basically, just letting them know, like, in my opinion, trauma is not accepted, especially culturally as Black people, Caribbean people. It is definitely because we're Caribbean, so it's I would say it's not accepted. Like I said to them earlier, like I feel like especially as a woman, it is not accepted for us to walk around with trauma. It's worse for men, but for women, it's like we gotta stay strong.
Mhm.
We can't show it.
Mhm. We're
But
always expected to be the stronghold and to keep the family together and keep the peace and to always dim ourselves. And I mean, this is not just a cultural thing. I feel like this is with every race, every walk of life that's on the face of this earth right now. A lot of times when it comes to trauma, women are expected to swallow it and keep moving, because I mean, what kind of trauma could you have? And now that
yes,
you're an adult, I mean, get over it. Like
get over it.
you have so much things to worry about. And I feel like that's it's insensitive at times. Like, don't get me wrong, you have people that take their trauma and they let that become their whole personality. Now I understand in that aspect. Yes, okay, like go see a professional, Okay, and if you believe in God, of course, strengthen your prayer life and strengthen your faith and read your word and stuff like that. If you do not believe in God, whatever it is that you believe in, I suggest that you lean into that
Oh
because
yeah, that was
you
that that was my disclaimer earlier.
Mhm.
I
let's
believe
let's
in
not
God. I
let's
believe
not
in
lean
God.
into that.
Y'all always gonna hear me say that, but it's no disrespect to what y'all believe in.
Exactly. Another thing that I had wanted to touch on, especially with starting coming into this podcast and this episode, is I feel like a lot of the times we have people that they go through their trauma and they're healed, and then they're like, okay, let's start talking to people and stuff like that, but you never really get to talk to somebody that's in the healing stage. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, everybody, they healed and they professionals now, and they got they talk in shows and all these things, but you don't really get to be or talk to someone that's in that middle stage, that's like, okay, on one hand, I'm still very much a crash out, but on the other hand,
Woo!
I'm not where I used to be,
But I'm somewhere different.
but I'm, okay. And I really feel like sometimes we need to be able to speak to somebody that's in the middle of that seesaw.
And see,
It's
that's why
like,
I started this. That is why I
mhm,
started my channel. Cause guess what? I ain't healed, but I'm not where I used to be. And she can
mhm,
attest to that. I'm definitely not where I used to be. But I'm getting there. I'm getting where I need to be. You get what I'm
mhm.
saying? Like and that's why I made this channel. And she could tell you a couple of days I called her, I crashed out. I was crying. Baby, I was crying. But
You need that though. You need that though.
I just kept pushing. And I noticed like a lot of times, like for me personally, because of my traumas, I internalize everything. I internalize everything. And honestly, because I have trust issues, oh, I suffer. Doggies need to be quiet. But I'm sorry, she got doggies and little puppies over there. I could steal them. I would steal them if I wanted to, but she too far. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like my traumas tend to, for me personally, I would say my traumas make me suffer more because of my traumas. I don't ask for help. I don't ask for help. I ain't gonna lie, and I don't care who it's from because I've had too many times in my life where I did open up and let people know what was going on with me, and it was they either laugh in my face or help me and throw it in my face. I don't got time for that. So I'm not gonna lie. Like for me, that's my traumas. You know, she gonna tell you something different for her. Anybody will tell you something different for them. What's their traumas like? What? So that's why I want this channel to be open because we all healing together. We all healing together, baby. We all healing. We healing together. We ain't none of us in here perfect, and I don't want nobody saying, "Well, my trauma's worse than yours." No, baby, you gonna know what my trauma is, and we gonna know what your trauma is, and we all gonna heal together. Because guess what? Nobody trauma better than nobody's. Um,
I feel like with that type of mentality as well, of course, there's always going to be somebody walking the face of this earth that's going through way worse than you are.
of course,
There,
always.
you don't have no money in the bank. There's somebody that don't even have a bank account. You don't have enough food. There's somebody that doesn't have food at all. There, you struggling to pay your bills and stuff like that, and cover your rent and cover light bills and pay your car insurance, car notes, and all these things. There are people out there that don't have any of the things that you are stressing about finding the money to pay for and stuff like that. So I feel like, yes, everybody has a right to focus on what that they're going through. They have a right to feel their feels and stuff like that. But that is not a leeway for you to now try to make other people miserable or try to one up people because you feel like you've been through worse. That's very much unhealthy.
Very much. That means you're
um,
still healing, and you might be worse off. You ain't nowhere
this
close to healing. Because if you could do that, you ain't healing, baby. You hurting other people because you hurt.
okay, like let's let her that hurt people
It,
saying is very much true, but it's still a
it ain't right.
decision. It's
It ain't
still
right.
a decision. It's still a decision to hurt somebody, especially when you know that that person is either down for you or they really didn't even deserve that. You just acting out of your emotions and stuff like that. This is not the type of mentality that anybody should be in. Me personally, there's a lot that I'm going through right now. There's a lot that I'm facing, from a divorce to dealing with a child that has autism to different things that is going on in my life right now. When I tell you, I feel like they're just stacking on top of one another, just one thing after the other, one step forward, 10 step back type of mentality. So we can, of course, come together, men together and all of that stuff, and hold hands and talk about everything, but we really got to
Kumbaya.
get
Let me
into
stop y'all.
what
No, I talk about kumbaya. I'm sorry, I play too much, y'all. But
you
that's basically
literally
what we're
like.
doing. This is our kumbaya and whoosah moment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
just let it go.
Acknowledge the fact that you have trauma, right? Because we a lot of us were raised
Not
by
to
a
aggravate.
generation. We let me get my thoughts together. Okay. So a lot of us were either raised by a generation that does not want to admit to their traumas, or we were raised in a generation that feels like trauma is not something that is important to address. A
It's
lot of people
normal.
have gone a lot
It's
of people
normal.
have gone off the rails because they are going through so much, and people around them keep telling them, well, suck it up,
Mm,
whatever, you'll be all right, type of thing. And it's like that's not what you should be telling them.
no.
uh like we're obviously we're not gonna baby and we're not gonna coddle people.
Nope.
However,
Be
let's not.
sensitive. Sensitivity.
Mhm,
Sensitivity.
exactly. Because again, Lena mentioned earlier, especially when it comes to people, well, we only know Caribbean American things, let's say that, and the
Yeah,
mentality that
yeah.
comes with Caribbean American type of dealings with stuff, when they specifically Jamaican in Jamaica. Like we were raised by our grandparents, so they were a little bit more lenient with us when it comes to the stuff that we went through, of course,
I mean,
because they're grandparents. That
I wouldn't
they're going to
say
be
they
a little
were
softer.
lenient. I wouldn't say they were lenient. I feel like what it was that they, for them, it was they brought us up in church. Oh my God, too much. But
We know we're not even going to address that right
but
now. That's a whole
but
nother thing.
but I will say though, yes, they brought us up in church, but I do remember one day, my grandmother, our grandmother, had said to me
Not
one
you
day,
trying to
she
claim
was
her for
like,
yourself.
whatever. But I do remember she sat me down one day because I used to question the Bible. You can ask them. I questioned the Bible like a mother
I mean, who
and
doesn't?
curse. I'm not gonna curse. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, baby. But I used to question the Bible a lot. I was very defiant when it came to the Bible because a lot of stuff in the Bible didn't sit well with me. And at first, she wanted us to wear skirts and dresses, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little tomboy. I wasn't putting on no skirt and dress back then. I wanted me a jeans pants, a marina, or sorry, what y'all call them, wife beaters.
Wife beaters up here.
I didn't even like wearing bras. You get what I'm saying? I was a tomboy. I'm not gonna lie. So, she sat me down and she was like, "Look, listen to me." And that's when she explained to me the entire Bible. Like she was like, "Hey, but I want y'all to always remember," and that's what she said to me. There was nobody else there. I don't know why she said y'all, but she said to me, "I want y'all to always remember, God didn't put none of us to sit here and be perfect, but live your life, but live it accordingly,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody's perfect. Jesus himself was on this earth and wasn't perfect." Listen, that's what she said to me. I ain't gonna comment on it. I ain't gonna comment on it. Listen, I was just like, hold up. I thought he was supposed to be the only perfect person, but
Because I was just like, hold on
neither
now.
neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. But that is
Yeah.
what she said to me, and she was just like, "Listen, you are all gonna make mistakes in life because nobody's perfect." You get what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie. When I did tell her some of my trauma, like she looked me in my face and told me it was my fault. And she was there. She was there. My cousin was there when I told her, and she legitly told me it was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Take note. I didn't. I'm trying to talk American. I didn't birth myself. Um, I didn't make myself, so I cannot control the way I look because I'm very shapely. And regardless of that, it gives no other human being in this world, our Earth, wherever we are, if we in the planet of Mars, the right to touch anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So, no, I didn't agree with it. But that's my granny. I love her. I'm always love her. Well, yeah, I'm always love her.
You about to cry? Man up.
I was. My grandmother died, so yes, the tears was about to fall. That's why I had to say, well, but she died last year November. So yeah, she. If it wasn't for her, my grandfather, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably be a trifling. Shut your mouth. But I'm not gonna lie, like my heart is made of gold, which I hate so much sometimes. But like I said, like we're gonna keep growing through our traumas. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna mend. We're gonna move on. Move forward. But let me not say move on because that still sound harsh. But we're gonna move forward. We're gonna mend
No.
and keep moving forward, baby.
Gonna keep moving forward. Yeah.
Um, I'm not gonna lie. For this summer, I might want to make us a little get together. Um, I'm gonna let y'all know though. Keep y'all updated because, like I said, I got a lot going on right now. So, by the grace of God, I do. I want to see what type of get together we could get this summer. See where we could do it and all of that. But yeah, y'all, if y'all know any sponsors I could get to sponsor a little get together for us, baby, just let me know. Cause I would love to do that. Um, Come out and meet y'all face to face. And like I said, my big picture for this entire movement is to go to schools and talk to kids, especially to keep our younger generations out of prison. Um, Healing through traumas, because I'm not gonna lie, I went to prison and a lot of people are in there because of unhealed trauma. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, y'all. A
A
lot
lot
of
of
people
people
are in
are
prison.
in a lot of people are in a lot of predicaments that they're in right now because of
Unhealed trauma.
like that. It's not even just like unhealed trauma. It's mainly what comes with that. right? Because you got the unhealed trauma, you got the actual trauma of what it is, and then you have the reactions and the thought process of, okay, well, this has happened. This is the after effect. And it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna float through life. I'm gonna do whatever, and it's really, and trust me, I'm completely understanding that whole entire thought process now, because I went through a lot in my early 20s. Because, yeah, unfortunately for me, it's my last year in my 20s now. Anyway, but in my early 20s, I
I
went
can't
through,
attest for that. I've been out of my 20s.
I went through a lot in my early 20s. And
Yeah.
because of everything that I went through, but before I even turned like fully 20, um, I went through a lot. I went through something that really like changed me for the rest of my life. And because of that, I made a lot of decisions. It's like a domino effect. You hit that one thing, and then everything else starts like falling. And the only way that you can stop it is if you make that choice to, like, maybe, I don't know, like push one of the dominoes out of the way or something, or face it in another direction. But a lot of people right now are going through the things that they're going through because that one event happened, and they allowed it to cause a ripple effect. They allowed it to put them in a position where they are making decisions based off that, because I don't want to go through that again. So I'm going to go over here without actually
Right this way.
thinking, like, okay, all right, well, that went left over there. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go right. Even though I can see and my gut is telling me, don't do that, it's the opposite of what I went through. So it can't be that bad. It's not, it doesn't look the same as what I went through. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that, and then they end up falling. It's like jumping from the frying pan into the fire type of stuff. So I feel like when it comes to that, we need to address the trauma itself, and then all of the decisions that came after that, because that's it's related, but it's two separate things. They parallel to each other. So yeah, I just wanted to chime in with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a lot. Trauma's a lot, y'all. We gonna get through this, baby. We gonna get through this.
And I feel like it's good to start. I feel like it's good to start with people that are in the middle of their healing journey, as well, so that you can see the progress. Because again, like going back to what I was talking about earlier, a lot of people, they go through their healing journey, they get healed, and then they start talking about stuff, and they start their podcast, or they start their YouTube channel, or they just start talking as a whole, or like they get licenses and stuff like that, and they start talking about it to help other individuals. But I just feel like sometimes people need somebody that's able to walk with them as well, not just somebody that's already at the forefront, at the other end of the rainbow, and you gotta get over there too, and they're like shouting from the other end of the rainbow, like, hey, walk this way. No, sometimes you need somebody that's in the middle of it with you, in the thick of it with you, so that you can see, like, of course it has to be somebody that is still on stable mental ground, let's say that. But I feel like it's good to have somebody um that's still in that been there stage before they get to that done that. You feel me? So yeah, I feel like that's good. I feel like that's good.
Yeah, cause I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know. For me personally, I feel like I can't really. When I do try to watch people podcasts, and that's the next reason why I made my podcast now. But I feel like when I watch people podcasts and they be like, "Well, this is where I was mentally," and then you see them now, it's like, how do I know you was actually there?
I can't relate to you because you.
Yeah, like I can't relate to you
Hmm.
because okay, yes, that's where I strive to be mentally, but I can't relate to you right now in this time where I'm at. So that's the next reason why I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna jump ahead and just do what I'm doing. Let it do what it do.
Might as well start somewhere.
So I had to start it now. And I'm gonna keep going. Y'all gonna keep seeing me. Y'all gonna get tired of my face, but y'all gonna keep seeing me. I know y'all probably like, golly, she on forever. But this something that we gonna keep going with. We gonna keep going.
Plus, it's representation too. There are a lot of people that don't really see people that's just like them, especially African American women, young African American women. The age doesn't really matter, but for this to relate to be more relatable to us, young African American women, there's not a lot of people that looks like them and that's in the same stage as them, that's helping them to like get through things and walk through it with them. So I feel like it's good to start that you started this podcast to get that. Girl, you yelling at your kids.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Let me not say too much because my child not here, so I'm not yelling at him for doing nothing right now. So yeah. But no, I think it's good. And I do like what you've started, and I will be your champion. I suggest you keep going. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna let you stop. I'm gonna text you and be like, where your video at? I don't see no posts in the group.
Whatever.
Hello.
I'm gonna keep going.
Hmm. Okay. Are there any other points that you wanted to touch that you wanted us to touch on at this point?
Not this week. That's it today. That's it.
Mhm.
And like I said, y'all, if y'all do want to like call and text some topics, I'm gonna give y'all the number again. I'm gonna give y'all the number again.
Or post it in the
I'm
group.
sorry, y'all. I don't know the number by heart, so y'all gonna keep seeing me look away.
If you can't give them the number, y'all just post the questions
Yeah,
in the group.
post it in the group. It's mending and what is it? Mending and moving forward. I think it's a podcast on Facebook. It's a group. Y'all could always join the group. It's an open public group.
Hmm.
Um,
Just
and
post it on
yeah,
the timeline and that's it. And
yeah, post it on the timeline. I'm gonna always put up topics y'all want to touch every week. Um, and we just gonna keep it going from there. Like I said, the number is 470-873-6461. Again, the number is, let me stop. Let me stop, yeah. But yeah, like
I'll
I
put
said,
it
I'm
with the
Lena B,
merch.
your host, baby.
And
That
I'll pop
is
in every now and again. I'll pop in every now and again.
that's my cousin, y'all.
Bye,
But
y'all.
we gonna keep it going, baby. I love y'all.
Bye.
Deuces. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Deuces. We are out. Keep following me, mending and moving forward.